putting an end to identity politics. This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
Greetings and salutations. You are tuning in to the Kevin Jackson Radio Show, and of course, I'm guest hosting for the day. My name is Brett Siegel. You can get me at Shaq General or the Disgruntled Millennial on Facebook. I am the Disgruntled Millennial, broadcasting to you live from my safe space down here in northern Florida, where I'm always free from your bigotry, racism, hatred, microaggressions, patriarchy, white privilege, and Islamophobia. I'm back here again with Anni Cyrus. She is a human rights activist. She brings a message of peace and hope, which is basically everything that Islam doesn't stand for, to people who are subjugated and brutalized and beaten down by Islam. She was a child bride in the Islamic Republic of Iran, and she is being targeted by social media basically because she has brought verses of the Quran. This is what drives me crazy. The Muslims, they say, go read the Quran. It's all about peace. And then you read the Quran, and there's tons and tons, so many, like on every page, it's littered with blood. The Quran is littered with blood on every single page. And that's the English translation. Who knows what it means in Arabic? But then you try to bring up that point on Facebook, on YouTube, and you get shut down. What's that? What's going on? What was the straw that broke the camel's back? What made them start targeting you?
Oh, this was it. I had a campaign up, and the title of the campaign was Help Support Annie's 2017 Anti-Sharia Tour.
That's it?
That was it.
That is...
As soon as I get out there and have a tour in 11 different places to tell my story, GoFund decided I'm a racist. And let me tell you something so ironic. Last year, yesterday, I was interviewed by GoFund as one of their most successful humanitarian person who has raised money for causes like those who are ill, who are going through tough time in life. A year later, the same hero, the same humanitarian person to GoFund becomes a racist Islamophobe who gets shut down.
All because you basically brought in verses of the Quran. You did what they told you to do. You did what the leftists tell us to do. They say, go examine the Quran and see how peaceful it is for yourself. And then
yeah, but that's a problem. I took one step further than what they said. They tell you to go read it. But then as soon as you read it and talk about it, then you're guilty. You just need to read it. Just like the rest of Muslims. You know how they read the Quran and they just keep quiet and follow the religion, so-called. But I didn't do that. I read it, and then I brought it up to actual people saying, hey, by the way, this verse here means this. And I'm guilty of being truthful, I guess.
Right. Now, I know this is a little bit of a pop quiz, but there has recently been a terrorist attack in Israel. And my heart and prayers go out to the families of the people, of the 3 men who were killed in that attack. But I want to know, Anni Cyrus, what is something like that sanctioned by the Quran? Because if Quran is a religion of peace, then Palestinians wouldn't be rolling into Israel with knives and guns and trucks and ready to just mow down the first Israeli that they see. Why is it that Muslims hate the Jews so much? Is that embedded in Quran, or is that just an outlier?
Of course it's embedded in Quran. The people of Israel are the cursed people to Allah. Allah has cursed them. And the day will not come, the day, promised day, and day will not come until Muslims have killed every breathing Jew. Because here's what people need to realize. If you are any religion but a Jewish, you get a chance to convert. As a Jew, you don't get the chance to convert. You're destined to death. That is Quran. Every human being has the right to convert to Islam except Jews. Those, kill them where you find them.
To me, at this point, I totally believe it, because it's funny how the leftists are constantly trying to pin conservatives as the anti-Semites, as the Nazis. They leave the Muslims they wiggle them into this loophole into their reasoning. The people who explicitly hate Jews, the people who outright cry for death to Israel, they're the people who get punched with the kid gloves. But no, the other people, the conservatives who actually want Israel to have their own state, who actually want Israel to have their own country, 60 some odd Muslim countries, 1.7 billion Muslims, one little tiny sliver of land in the Middle East for the Jews, for the 6 million Jews that live there. But no, Israel is this awful, terrible place. And this is one of the reasons why, another reason why Islam makes common cause with the left, because the left hates Jews. The left is actually very anti-Semitic, don't you think?
Of course they are. But here's my question for you. Do they actually think, and by they, I mean the left, do they actually think when Muslims are done with Israel and they're done with us as conservatives, do they really think they're going to give them a break and say, hey, because you're a leftist retard and you helped us do this, we're just going to let you live life? Is that what they're hoping for?
Yeah, I do believe so. I do believe that once the white supremacists and the conservatives and all the people who they are worried about are gone, that, you know, like the gays and the transgender, they're just going to live in harmony with Islam and with the Muslims, you know? I do honestly believe that a lot of them have been brainwashed to the point where they just literally can't see the words that are right in front of them. Linda Sarsour scares the living piss out of me because so many feminists eat out of the palm of her hand.
I know. And the funny thing is I actually got into an argument with one of them. And I said, I want to ask you this. Are you okay with the fact that she has to wear that thing around her neck or her head? And she's like, well, she doesn't have to. She chose to. So I bring up a verse of the Quran. I said, look, she has to. If she doesn't, Muslim men are open to raping and abusing her sexually. She goes like, well, I don't know what it says in Arabic. You might be making it up. I'm like, what?
It's just
like, well, I can't trust Google. Google might make it up. I'm like, oh my God. So you can trust Linda Sarsour, who has done nothing for your community because all she fights for is Muslim Americans, not you. But you're going to believe her over the actual fact that I'm giving you. She actually said, yeah. She has no reason to lie. And I said, what's my reason to lie? She's like, you're Islamophobe. I'm like, oh my God.
Just for those people, just one more time, for those people who really don't understand what it's like growing up under Islam, just explain the situation surrounding you being sold into marriage. Because you know what? When people realize that it could be their own daughter, that by them silently, you know, being okay with, you know, the Islamization of America, they are basically saying that they are okay with what was done to you.
Exactly. And that's what pisses me off. Because when I tell them what happened to me and how easily, and I mean easily, as a matter of 5 minutes on a table, my father decided that I'm done. He handed me over to this man. I can't even use the word man on him. This male, crazy man, whatever you want to call it. In a matter of minutes, he could make that call. It didn't matter what I asked. It didn't matter how much I begged. It didn't matter how much I cried saying, I don't want it. I don't want to be a wife. Forget about who the man is. I just don't want to get married. I had no say. Not just my father. Even when I went, I said this millions of times. When I went to a court begging a judge to give me a divorce with a dislocated shoulder, bruised face, blood is still on my lips, he looked at me and said, what, you gotta start obeying your husband, young lady. Now go home and make him happy. A damn judge, my own father, everybody around me were fine with the fact that as a 14 years old, I was literally handed over to this man. And he paid my father. What was the agreement? I don't know words. I don't know any words, especially in English. I don't know what's a word to describe my feeling at that moment. And that exactly is when I was broken into pieces. He shattered me into pieces. I was nothing but a piece of property that he sold me. He took the money, he took the damn opium, and he walked away.
Sold into marriage for opium. I swear, this makes me want to rip somebody's heart out. And I'm a peaceful man. I'm trying to do this diplomatically, but, you know, we can't get our word out there. We can't get our message out there. We're constantly being censored. You're going on tour. You're going to be speaking your message, truth to power, and I'm really hoping I can bring this out and rally as many people towards your cause. Anni Cyrus, liveuptofreedom.com. You can get her at the Glazov Gang too. Thank you so much for coming on the show, Anni Cyrus. I really, really appreciate it. I swear, listening to that just makes my head spin.
Yeah, thank you. I always appreciate you giving me a voice.
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show. We're going to end with that, and we really hope you guys have a great day. And think about the things that we've been talking about. Are we really living in the worst country in the world? Are we really a racist country? I don't think so. I think we're the best. God bless America. Have a great day.
He won't stop until he's the top-rated radio talk show host in America.
What kind of weird competitive freak are you?
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.